doddleTALKS Tech NAB 2015 special. Jim Geduldick and the GoPro Herocast.
Doddle.
It's doddleTALKS Tech with James DeRuvo.
Never touch another man's butt.
Online at doddlenews.com.
NAB, day 2. Jim Geduldick, GoPro. Jim, thanks for joining us on doddleTALKS Technology.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Herocast, let's dive right in. This I gotta tell you, when my son and I, we kind of, it's a bonding experience for us to watch the the Winter X Games because he's a big Shaun White fan, and we started watching it this year, and I saw the live streaming from the GoPro, and I said, this is going to be an NAB. I already know it. I knew it right away. You're field testing, and it was legit, man.
Yeah, thanks. I was out there freezing my butt off, operating that, and it's funny you bring up Shaun. Shaun was the first one to take a live run in practice, because the same weekend that we were shooting X Games, we were also shooting NHL, and it was it was part of the learning experience, making sure that this was tested for live broadcasters. So obviously you saw that it went extremely well for that week.
I don't even remember any outages at all.
Yeah, we're very lucky that that system worked really well. ESPN was blown away by it. NHL was blown away by it. And there were for X Games alone, it was roughly like 33 million people saw that the first live GoPro stuff.
So walk us through, and this is all powered off the same battery as the GoPro, right?
Yeah, correct. So, I mean, you obviously have situations where you would want to have longer battery times, so there is a battery eliminator, but yeah, that is the key point to Herocast, is that it is compatible with our accessories. It runs off a GoPro battery backpack, and that is there's 2 units. So there's Herocast Backpack, which is an integrated unit that runs off the battery backpack. There is a tethered unit, which is just called Herocast. It basically allows you to run our camera normally in POV how you would, and then you're tethered by a micro HDMI cable, but that goes right into the transmitter. So the transmitter can be on a belt pack. It can be on a chesty. The camera is wherever you would normally mount it. So there isn't a weight difference of what the camera would have. You then just have the battery backpack, which is very lightweight. A lot of our athletes that they're spinning all over the place, flipping all over the place, flipping 400-pound sleds, and they had no problems with it. They, Colton Moore, who took the first live
snowmobile,
for snowmobile, for Speed and Style.
Those guys are nuts.
Yeah, they are. Very talented athletes, and Colton Moore, Levi LaValle, ran the systems for both Speed and Style for long jump. We had our athletes, Sage Kotzenberg, Shaun White, Jamie Anderson, Jesper Yetter, like all of our athletes, Bobby Brown, they were all running Herocast for us. And we also are doing follow cam too for X Games. And then the athletes too for NHL. So, getting an athlete to, sometimes just wear a camera is, a new experience for them, because he doesn't want to be aware. Yeah, they're very aware of weight, because, when you turn your head in a lot of different different tricks from an action sports side of it, it's very calculated. So that little bit of extra weight could really hinder somebody's performance. But a lot of the guys and girls that were trying it on and testing it with us ahead of time, they're just like, I don't even feel it. It's like I just have my normal GoPro on my head, and they just have a little transmitter. Different from follow cam, because that's like they go off and do their thing, and we're following them. Anyway, and you take that application, and that's just one thing. That's action sports, that's traditional sports. This could be for live events, music events, electronic music festivals are very popular, but you adapt it to any event that does live broadcasting.
And it streams in full 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, 1080 and 720.
For 40 minutes. On the GoPro
battery.
Right. On the GoPro battery. So it's like only drawing not even 7 watts.
If you're there with a GoPro battery, you're about at 5.
Yeah.
And 5 volts basically for
5 volts, that's what I meant.
Powering your camera. But if you're running longer, there's a lot of accessories that you get when you buy the Herocast solution that are coming in there. So you have the 2-finger back door that allows you to just adapt onto our existing, quick clip, 3-way, chesty, head strap, you name it, and then there opens the door up to all third-party and DIY stuff as well. So obviously that's the ecosystem. A lot of people have existing GoPro mounts, so they can just use that. Some people, some broadcasters and production people already have existing cameras, 3+ and a 4, so they can do that. They would need to run a firmware update specifically for the Herocast. But basically, a lot of your existing stuff, you're not having to go out and buy all this new stuff just to work with Herocast.
So is it just for the Hero 4, or is it downwards compatible?
It is downwards compatible. It does work with the Hero 3 Plus Black Edition. So if you have, a lot of people have 3 Pluses and they have 4s. So they can, there you go right there. They work with both. It actually, I should say, they work with all Hero 4s. It works with the silver and the black. It works with Hero 3 Plus Black Edition as well. So we've thought of the backwards thing. We said a lot of people had and love 3 Pluses, and they're still using them day in, day out.
Camera. I mean, the 4 is cool, but I mean...
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
camera.
Every camera always has better
and better.
It's just, technology becomes available to us, and then it becomes available to you guys.
Exactly.
So...
I still use the 2. I mean, my son still uses the 2 just for just getting B-roll.
The good thing about it is as we come out with new cameras, we don't push people into them because we know that people...
Oh, no, we want it. We just want it.
Yeah, I want it too. So a lot of people still come up to us in the booth and they're still using HD2s and they're just like, yeah, I love it. Works. It does what I need it to do. It's built tough. I have seen a lot of cameras that have gone through the ringer, and not only are they still working, but you're still capturing the content off of it.
Some of my favorite stories on the internet are of lost GoPros that are found like 6 months later, 300 feet in water, and they track somebody down on Facebook, and they can open it up, charge it up, and it plays.
Yeah, they share screenshots and like you hear of those like every few months, like the pig farmer one last year.
Oh yeah, and the one just the Skydiver just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and it's like we don't go out looking for those stories.
Oh yeah, you
do. They just hit media. They it's very organic how those stories come to media, and it's just like a matter of people saying, "Hey, I want to reunite." People are very aware of what those memories mean to people, so it's very humbling to say that that human nature out there are like going back and like, oh yeah, I want to make sure I reconnect this person with their camera and their footage. You never know what that footage is, and it's really meaningful. And I think that footage that we all shoot with our kids, our families, that's just one part to it. Because then we have our professionals that use it day in, day out.
I can't tell you how many I'm at. It doesn't matter what event I'm at. I mean, somebody has a GoPro, and it's like. And I look at him, my first thing I want to ask him is, you skateboard? Or is it, he says, no, I just really think the camera's cool for just capturing the Kodak moment. Yeah. And, now the Kodak moment is becoming the GoPro moment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is that immersive, wide-angle look that we've, been known for. And it's a very known look. You can't turn on the TV nowadays without seeing it in a commercial or a reality show or a feature film.
It's huge on reality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's everywhere. Everything they cut to is GoPro. Man on the street, GoPro. And it's really great to see that professionals adopt it too. And it becomes, like you said, people think, well, I don't skateboard. I don't jump out of planes. I don't go snowboarding. I don't surf. I don't do all this like crazy action sports stuff. But it's not that. It's a versatile camera. You want to give it to your kid. Like I give it to my kids. Let them run around, play basketball, football, run in the park, put on the junior chesty, let them do whatever it is a normal kid does. And you get that unique perspective. And
when we took our last vacation to Disney World, my son walked around with the Hero 2 and the head strap, and we were like, taking on roller coaster rides and everything. And he watches that footage all the time.
But it's awesome. You always go back to it. Like I go back to footage with really early GoPros of my son when he was like 2 years old. I mean, you find a lot of people in GoPro that are having kids these days. The GoPro's right in there in the
GoPro generation.
And it really is, and we make this capture device that inspires people and it enables them, and the content really speaks for that, because a lot of what gets turned into us, people hashtagging us, and they want us to be aware of what they're doing. So that's why we do photo of the day, video of the day. That's why you see things like Dubstep BB 2 years ago was our Super Bowl commercial. That's all user-generated content. Yeah, we have a team that is looking at all this content and seeing, picking out those diamonds in the roughs, those cool stories. There's lots of them. Everybody out there is capturing awesome stuff with their cameras.
The craziest GoPro video I'd ever seen was the guy riding the bicycle along that path that's only 12 inches wide, and he does the flips and he lands right in the same spot, and he's going, and it's sheer drops on either side. That was just nuts, but it was a great video.
Oh yeah, I mean, the first time I saw the Kelly McGarry backflip stuff, you're in the seat with Kelly, and my heart was literally pounding.
I was stressed,
and I'm just like, any wrong move, your tire slips a little bit, you're in big trouble. You're in very big trouble. But I mean, and that's a testament to our athletes as well. I mean, we work with and we're friends with the world's best athletes in all the different genres, from snowboarding, skateboarding, surfing, you name it. We work with everybody, and there's a lot of people that aren't even on our athletes, but will show up to an event and they'll be like, hey, I got this GoPro footage, here, check out what I got. And it's some of the most amazing stuff. And that's how we also get introduced to new people. That's the same thing for athletes as it is for filmmakers. People come up to the booth with us at NAB and they're like, hey, look what I captured with your cameras. Amazing content. And then, who knows, that they get featured on the GoPro channel.
The GoPro channel on Xbox Live.
Xbox Live, you never know. Virgin, our partnerships, we have a lot of different platforms. We got Xbox, we have Virgin America, we got Roku, we got all these different channels that are out there, and distribution channels for GoPro. So, we have a lot of eyes on the content that we're producing and that users are producing. And
now you're doing Herocast, which means people can have their own TV stations to do whatever it is that they want to do. Let's get back to the Herocast now. The receiver is about the size of a brick. Am I correct? It's not very big.
The transmitter. Yeah. So the Herocast transmitter.
No, I'm talking about the receiver, the part that they showed me underneath.
Yeah, the Vislink receiver. It's not that big. You have to have an infrastructure. You have to have RF antennas. And that, that's a solution that you can go to a provider. You can rent the stuff if you needed to do that. You acquire your license from your local RF provider, so you get your channels for what you need, and then you've got your receive site, you've got your cameras, you've got your Herocast transmitter. It's a little bit, I would say it's involved. It is a professional solution.
But it's only $7,500.
Per the market of what other competitors charge for that, it is less power consuming. It has very low latency. It is very lightweight. It only works with a GoPro system. We've obviously made it that way. This is what makes it special. It is very, very low power. I mean, the fact that it can run off your battery backpack that you probably have in your backpack here.
For 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
Fun.
You're not tethered. Yeah. You're out, you're walking around, you can go around the show floor. You can be halfway up a mountain like I was with it, and I'm running off of our batteries. So just take out a battery, swap it, pop it in, power it back up, wire down to the broadcast truck, say, hey, channel 1 up, good? Yeah. All right, let's send off the rider. It's very trendy.
And when is that available? Is it available now?
Yes, it is. So the best way to find out more and get contacted about purchasing it or finding out more technical details is GoPro.com/broadcast. We have a form there you fill out. Both us and Vislink are contacting potential interested parties about that. And you'll see a lot more in the future, both what GoPro is doing and what now other people, because we're making this available to everyone. We're going to see a lot more unique perspectives on live TV from GoPro.
And that's the exciting thing, with this whole Meerkat thing going on and periscoping, and you know, you're not going to do that if you're out on the slopes when you can do, you know, if you're like running a professional channel or a professional competition, you can do it with this. I mean, I can really see the benefits of this for even the smallest, even a wedding. You could do this, you know, to send it out online so everybody who couldn't make it, they could be there.
It might be a little bit pricey for a wedding, but you never know. A church, a wedding provider that wants to offer, you know, a new experience for someone. You get married once, hopefully.
So far.
Yeah, and that experience would be you know, from a wedding standpoint is how many people get married a day that they can say, I have a relative that's very far away. How can I share this with them? How can I make them feel like they're there with us in the seat?
Now, what's the range of the Vislink transmission? I mean, how close do you have to be in order to pick up the without having dropouts?
We usually say that it's limitless. It really depends on your RF infrastructure. So if you have a receive site, you have a bunch of repeaters, you have very strong signal. You can go miles with this. It's very tried and true. It's all broadcast. It's all industry standards, and it really depends on, obviously, environmentals, what's going on, where you are. In the mountains, a little bit tougher, line of sight, certain things. But if you have a very strong receive infrastructure, you have repeaters set up through there. You know, we were halfway up Buttermilk Mountain with Aspen running this thing, and no breakup at all. You have people slamming down hard. People did fall with this. People were, you know, doing what they do as a professional athlete, really beating up on these systems, and we didn't have breakup. We had it really tried and true, and it fit right into ESPN and NHL's live broadcasts with all their other traditional ENG systems. So, I mean, from a proving point, you don't get any more of a in the hot seat testing out if this thing is a viable solution for professionals.
That is hardcore field testing.
That is the prime field testing for Herocast for sure.
So you can be honest. You guys were working on this when I asked you what was over the horizon last year. You knew that was going on.
We may have been working on this thing for a couple of years.
So what else is there anything else going on?
Obviously, for since we last talked, it's Hero 4.
Yeah,
you know that's a big thing. You know, Hero 4 Black Edition, 4K at 30 and 24, higher bit rates, better quality, a little more tuning on Pro Tune, tweaking things more for obviously the professional crowd at NAB. Whether you're a filmmaker or broadcaster, you're doing live events, anything that you would do for your GoPro. The new cameras for Hero 4 Silver, Hero 4 Black. Also, we launched the entry-level Hero camera. So, tried and true GoPro quality, shooting, up to 1080, much lower price point. So the entry level that people have always been asking us for GoPro at a lesser expensive, but still high quality that GoPro standard has, is where we came out with the Hero. For professionals, more so Hero 4 Black Edition, higher frame rates, 1080 120, 720 240, up to 60 megabits per second. Night lapse, probably one of my favorite features for ours, being able to shoot long exposure with GoPro now. Night lapse, night photo.
And 240p, 240 frames per second and 720p, right?
Correct.
That's nice for slow-mo.
Looking over here for slow-mo, it's looking really good. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of updates, and we always know. The last firmware up we did was February 9th that enabled the 720-240. So, always updating our cameras for everyone that would use it.
Rest never sleeps.
Oh, yeah. Always working. Always innovating at GoPro.
Oh, well, that's the thing. The thing I like is that you reach a point where you're really only competing against yourself. You know, it's kind of like Shaun White. Shaun White doesn't really compete about anybody else other than himself.
You know what? That's a good level to be at, and competition always keeps us on our toes. We know there's a lot of other choices out there, and we really take pride in knowing that from our media team, from the productions we do, that is the best field testing you can ever do. So, I mean, obviously we know our camera's the best in our productions that we do, and a lot of these productions that you see that are so well produced by our media team are test beds for our cameras. So we're always working on new stuff. You guys are seeing the end result of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on a lot of these productions, because it's teams flying all over the world, crafting these stories, and it's basically it's what we call our virtuous cycle, is that you have the camera, someone goes out and shoots with that camera and produces awesome content that gets you psyched. You say, hey, I want to go off and do that. I want to get a GoPro. And then that whole circle is just a revolving circle of enabling and influencing people. So that's exactly what we're doing at GoPro.
All right. Well, my guest has been Jim Geduldick of GoPro Camera. You can check him out on GoPro.com. And if you're looking to do any live streaming, I'm serious. Herocast is legit. Jim, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been listening to doddleTALKS Technology. For more information, visit our website at www.news.doddleme.com. Got a question or comment? You can drop me a line at james@doddleme.com. You can like us on Facebook and also subscribe and leave us feedback on iTunes. doddleTALKS Technology is a copyrighted podcast from Doddle News. Thanks for listening.